together, please. Those of you who are here for the Aloha Aina in Kalapana. If you can sit somewhere where you can see a screen, there's screens here, there's a screen over there, and then there's this little guy over here. We're going to start centering ourselves in each set. So if you can have everybody come, really mind, and join us, that would be wonderful. No? The food that we want to start with to kind of center ourselves was proposed by Keawekane-Stafford, and it asks for knowledge from above, from all the ike, the wisdom of our puna, to be with us today and to alakai to guide us. It's cool, and I'm just very, very happy to be here, and I'm happy to start us off with our today. If everybody's ready to go, you know. So if you know anyone might, please join us. Aloha mai o kuia mako, ko I ako ko mai nei, ma kalapana nei. E kalawale mai o kui ko mako no anga, ko mako haumia, me ko mako ai kuku, ko mako ai a, ko mako hahe, me ko mako ho hiki no ato. E mani o mai. E noho kume mako, e alakai mai mako, e ho ora noho I ka mako mako, e ohana I maihia. E ho ora I lako makikino, a hele ku, a hele koro, a hele ne'e a haumaka I ole a palalahala o na loa kakuania. Kau ola ia e kia kua, la kawai haa aku, me kawai haa aku o e kia. Pera mama. Bye. So this Pule Aku Earl was for your ohana, for health and strength, and aloha Aina. Thank you so much for joining us, and mahalo and aloha to everybody who's here today. Mahalo for coming and allowing us to share some of the things we've been sharing around the island about very exciting, new, yet very old movement, and we're calling it the Aloha Aina movement. Many of you know that that's not something we invented. That is something that our kupuna have believed in, and something that they have moved with and for a very long time. And so we want to dedicate this afternoon to all of the people who assembled on September 1897 in Hilo, who said, you know, we are not going to support these terrorists that took over our land, and that Hanaino, our queen, we are going to we're going to stand up and stand apart from those who did bad and who did evil to us. And we're going to sign a petition known as the Ku'e petition. And those of you who have never heard of it, and we brought the petition is right in the back over here. So when we power down the keys, you can go look. If maybe your kupuna signed this petition as well. You see here on the right hand side, there's lots of our kupuna who signed that, and many of you can find your great-grandparents, or if you're old like me, your grandparents, or your great uncles and aunties on this petition. We also want to honor 3 of our more later Aloha Aina warriors that just passed away and went into the Aloha Wakea this past month, and there was actually a celebration of their life yesterday at Iolani Palace, and that is Dr. Kikuni Blaisdell, a wonderful, wonderful, generous, kind, good-hearted, just pono, kanaka pono, who could have done so much stuff with his ike, but really dedicated it to the health of the kanaka, but also to our political awareness at a time when hardly anybody was at that level of saying, hey, we have to make change. In the center, you see Leandra White Rodriguez, wife of Sparky Rodriguez, who was in Makua in the early 80s when the DLNR came and arrested them, bulldozed their shacks that they had at Makua, and who has been fighting for Hawaiian lands until she passed away. And then the last handsome bugger on the bottom right is Abraham, or Kumipao Ahmad. Really solid grassroots fighter for many, many years after the Sand Island evictions, became very politically active, and many of you may know the beautiful, beautiful videos that him and his wahine Joan did under Namako Ka'aina. If you don't, just Google Namako Ka'aina and you will see the history of the Hawaiian movement, from the Makua Sand Island evictions to the Waimanalo evictions, to the geothermal, and then most recently Mauna Wakea. So he and his wahine Joan have really documented our struggle as far as land base is concerned, but we also did many beautiful other videos on Kawai, Namanu, and all kinds of different things. And that's what we're dedicating this presentation to today. While we're here, we want to make a commitment to really not just talk about Aloha, but really live Aloha as a way of life, demonstrate respect to each other, so you can turn off your phones, forget about the texting for a little while, and maybe as long as we do the this presentation, keep your conversations to a minimum. We will have time to follow out as soon as this short presentation is out. Then you will go into groups and you will have all the time to share your manao. So the other parties have an open attitude. Listen to your na'au. If your na'au tells you what you're saying makes sense, it makes sense. If you're going like, then something is wrong now. So really listen to your na'au and all of this. We're going to have a lot of people with different mana'o. That's good, that's not bad. So let's share, but let's keep it respectful. Most of all, let's not forget to have some fun, because that's what our culture and our kupuna taught us. So what is the goals of these Aloha Aina? Well, first of all, we want to make sure that everybody understands that Hawaii has the right to be independent, and that there's only one movement forward that will really change the socio-economic, the health, and the other conditions of Hawaii, and that is independence. At the same time, we want to be very clear that what we are here for is to resist and oppose Na'i Aupuni or anybody else who they claim is representing us without our input. We want to reject what the DOI is trying to do currently, which is to recognize us as Kanaka Maoli, as a native Hawaiian tribe. I just came back from Montana on Friday. $240 million acre land is Assiniboine Sioux tribe in Fort Peck. Yet 80% unemployment, highest suicide rate in the nation of teenage boys, because and coming home from school killing themselves because it's such a racist institution. Meth in every single household affected by meth. They had a meth symposium there, and they talked about the issues. The last thing we want to be is a Native American child, let me tell you. And then finally, and the most importantly, the purpose of this AHA is to unite, ho'olokahi, all of us. And to work collaboratively towards nation building. And maybe today, this morning, we did a presentation with Salt Lake Hawaiian City Club. They didn't like the word nation building because they said we are already a nation. And there's a manao there. So if someone knows a better word, we are open for a better word. But the idea is we want to build the foundations, the building blocks in education, in health, in technology, in mahi'ai, in land stewardship, building those foundations along with creating a political arm. But the political arm is not everything, right? Because you can have a passport of any country in your rear pocket, that don't mean nothing. You know, as long as you still smell American, you know, you are American kind of, right? So we don't want to go there. We want to really become an independent nation, and there's no reason we cannot. So what we have brought to you is just a brief overview of the historical facts, and we want to share those with you right now. And we have Charmaine and Paka that are going to, right? And Earl. That's what your Anna Kala over here nominated you. So please come up, introduce yourself, and then do you mind just point the music, please?
Aloha, my name is Charmaine Bugado. I come from Hilo. I live in Panaewa, Homestead, and I'm just grateful to be able to bring this presentation and information out here to Puna so that everybody can know what's going on. So right now we're protesting Na'iau Puni. I've been protesting since last August, and we're going to go over some historical facts here. In 1893, the Hawaiian Kingdom was an international and recognized independent nation. And it was unlawfully overthrown by a small clique of American businessmen with the assistance of the U.S. military.
Fact number 2. Hello, my name is Paka with a P. I've heard this before, it's been with a P, not an S. Paka with a P, not an S. Anyway, I live up in Waimea in Pukampu. And it's a pleasure to be here. This is actually the first time I ever been to Kalapana. Some of my friends that I go to Keawekane-Stafford, he's from this island and stuff. But he lives up in Waimea now, so we do some fishing and stuff here. But anyway, on fact number 2, in 1898, the United States unlawfully occupied the Hawaiian Kingdom. And unlawful occupation continues today. Some people just say occupation, but I believe it's considered belligerent occupation, because under an occupation, the occupier applies the laws of the occupied nation rather than creating and applying their own laws.
My name is Earl Daniel. I come from Kona, Kukuyopa in South Kona. This is a kako thing, so we're trying to make everybody participate. It was in hopes that we could get some Kalapana people to do some of this too, so maybe the next time we can all include everybody else. So fact number 3 is over 3 million acres of valuable crown lands, government and public lands of the Kingdom of Hawaii were seized, first by the self-proclaimed Republic and then the U.S. without consent of the Hawaiian people or the nation. So that's a serious thing that we're dealing with right now. We got effects from it. You know? It's illegally taken away, and what we're talking about now is that the 2 million acres that is just about ready to go somewhere else too. So we just all got to maka'ala, unite as one, and this can stop coming in our, to all people one more time. It's like the second annexation is about ready to happen. We just got to maka'ala to that. So.
Hold the questions to the end, please.
Just wanted to ask what the rules were.
We went through the
We
rules.
can't go through, so we go through the whole slideshow, then if there's questions, then we can educate those. Thank you.
The next thing we wanted to mention was that in 1897, there was a annexation petition called the Pu'e petitions. 21,269 people were signed onto the petition. At the time, there was only 40,000 citizens. And those 21,269 signatures were from the Kanaka Maoli population, and that was considered about 90% of that side.
And that position, particularly opposition to annexation. So, fact number 5, Hawaiian people never relinquished their claim, our claim to our culture and political rights, to sovereignty as a people in order to receive our national lands to the United States. Although they claimed ceded land, nothing was ever ceded. This is recognized in 1993 Public Law 103-150, which is also known as a policy bill. It was signed by President Bill Clinton at that time.
So I don't know if Cooley mentioned, we're just going to read these facts and any questions when we bring them to the groups, all the questions you can pose to the other countries in the groups. So fact number 6 is in 1959, the UN, due to false representation by the United States of America, removed Hawaii from one of the list of nations, self-governing territories eligible for decolonization. This made way for the statehood, which did not give independence as an option.
In 2007, the United Nations recognized that all indigenous peoples have a right to self-determination and to freely determine their political status and to freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. You can find this document online, or it's called the United Nations Declaration on the Rights for Indigenous Peoples.
Number 8, the options for Hawaii as a nation includes the following. Can stay occupied by the U.S. if that's the desire of the majority of Hawaiians. And by Hawaiian, I mean all descendants of the subject of the Hawaiian Kingdom, regardless of race. The Hawaiian Kingdom was not a race-based nation. We had citizens of the Hawaiian Kingdom, Chinese, Japanese, Filipino. Almost every race that inhabits Hawaii today was citizens of the Hawaiian Kingdom. So a Hawaiian is defined as a nationality, not a race of people. The race of the Aboriginal people of Hawaii is Kanaka-Maoli. So do not confuse Kanaka-Maoli and Hawaiian. Hawaiian is a nationality. So we can either stay occupied by the United States or get federal recognition. And as Ku explained earlier, we really don't want to become a Native American tribe. But they actually, most of them are in worse conditions than we are, perhaps except for the ones that have gaming. And under the Asaka Bill, previous efforts to federally recognize us, they already prohibit gaming in Hawaii. So they try to pretty much extinguish us. That's what they're looking. We can enter into a contract of free association, like the Marshall Islands, and some Pacific Islands are already discussing terminating their free association with the United States because other nations who they don't have similar relations with are actually giving them more aid than the United States. Or the preferred alternative is return to being an independent nation.
So fact number is, in the summer of 2014, the DOI hearings on all major islands, with thousands of Hawaiians testifying, overwhelmingly 90% was totally against the DOI, against federal recognition and for complete independence. In 2015, DOI decided, DOI is the Department of Interior, for some of the people who don't know the terminology. The Department of Interior is not to count oral testimonies, only accepted written testimonies. So you can imagine that. The fact about that thing is if you watch those videos, you'll see the narrator specifically telling them to speak into the mic, this certain mic, because they're doing stenography. They were taking recordings of every testimony. Unfortunately, the fact is that they took the testimonies, every oral testimony, and they accepted only the written testimonies. So this includes thousands of pre-printed pro recognition cards of dubious origins. We don't know where it came from. I mean, people could just put in 10, 20 of their own. But based on these cards, when you 70% of Hawaiians are for federal recognition. So you guys were all included whether you like it or not, which is very unfortunate and just not formal.
So in 2011, the Kanai'oluvalo Road was created by the state of Hawaii through Act 195, and 5 road commissioners were appointed by the governor with the goal of enrolling 200,000 Kanaka to be able to participate in this nation-building effort.
Kanai'oluvalo spent at least $4 million of Office of Hawaiian Affairs trust money to get a signature to enroll. And there's estimates floating around. At a minimum, OHA has already spent over $20 million in beneficiary trust funds on federal recognition efforts, and some estimates was had as $50 million. Can you imagine the benefits that the beneficiaries could have experienced from even that 20 million, that are 50?
Well, it could be one for using them to going out and doing what we're doing, trying to educate the people. And they just allocated last week another $130,000 that just got released by law. Again, on top of that says, it's ridiculous. But okay, in 2013, SOH Act 77 transferred tens of thousands of names from the 3 different OHA lists, the Kauna OHA list, that operated the Ohana and the OHA's Hawaii Register. So they just put together all kinds of lists. Anybody was registered in their school, running trust, whatever it was, they just grabbed all these names. I heard these names from all these places and just throw them into one bunch and say, these are the guys that we represent, which is unfair. I mean, you got to think about that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous.
So in the end, Kanai'oluvalo's certified list came up with 95,000 eligible voters as opposed to that 200,000 that they were given money for. This represents only 18% of the Hawaiian population. The last U.S. Census says the Hawaiian population consists of 527,000 people. Yeah. Of those eligible to vote, those ones on the roll, many are listed without their knowledge or consent, just like we were just saying. And also many of them are duplicates and names of people who already passed away.
For Kanai'oluvalo promotional materials, 82% Hawaiians not on the roll waive our right and the right of our children and descendants to be legally and politically recognized as Native Hawaiians. Actually, we're not Native Hawaiians anyway. It's a term fabricated. They have the large N Native Hawaiian and the small N Native Hawaiian, and that's classification so they can put us in their box. They have different boxes, so they separate the 50% and more from the 50%, less than 50% by making these little changes in the case of the words. As a result, will be excluded from being granted rights of inclusion, citizenship, right of participation, voting, and right to potential benefits that may come with citizenship, land use rights, monetary payments, scholarships, etc. And these benefits would be benefits granted by the Department of Interior. Under federal recognition, the Native, the Hawaiian Native American tribe, or whatever they want to call it, will be under what they call a plenary authority of Congress. Plenary authority is basically like a parent-child relationship. The parent says what you can have, when you can have it, how much you can have, and they make rules that you need to follow, or they're just a bunch of condescending bastards in my opinion.
Yeah, but that alone is a scary thought, It's like you're excluded, your child is excluded, your grandchildren, and your descendants. That's a scary thought. It's not just you, your whole. And now when I heard that, when I read that, I was like, oh my God, this is a red flag. This puts right up. If you wanted to include me in my ohana, you would bring me into the lahui, not kick me out of the lahui. So moving on, December 2014, the Kanayawalo list was transferred over to the newly created Naiapuni. It morphed itself from one over to the next, to the next, to the next, without consent of the signatories. That's nice. So now they're morphing over to this other thing, Aloha Aina, after Naiapuni just dissolved themselves. So it's like a morphing thing, you know? It's unbelievable.
Last year in April, despite the lack of history or community trust, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs awarded Naiapuni $2,598,000,000 to create the new nation that we're talking about.
According to Act 195, that's the state act, only Kaholoawi will be transferred to the new nation created through this process. So what you're looking at right now on the federal recognition would be the Native Hawaiian American, whatever we call it. This will be our reservation. There's no water supply, very little vegetation. So
Bombs.
it's pretty clear if you want to extinguish our people. So I don't worry about my language on that.
Well, I can confess to the fact we got arrested on Kaulani in 1977. One of the first Hawaiians after Georgetown disappeared. The island is full of bombs, still there, in the water, on the ocean, sticking on cliffs, hidden underground, and we cleaned up only like 30% of the Aina. So with that being said, the consideration of putting people on that island is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, you talk about eradication over race, put us there and we'll be gone very quick. But December 2015, Naiapuni was forced to cancel the election by the U.S. Supreme Court order. February 2016, 150 former Naiapuni candidates were actually their participants. Candidates were opposed by Naiapuni, appointed by Naiapuni, created governing documents for a race-based nation.
Protest Naiapuni. Here's some of the things that you can do as a result of some of the information that we gave you. We want to know where the $4 million went. That was,
That's all on this website.
yeah, okay, you can check out this information on the website, Protest Naiapuni. They also have a Facebook group too, and we can find out more information about the $4 million. There's a checkbook on there. You can find out details of the Department of Interior's proposed rules that they have for us right now that they're making a decision on. There's fact sheets on there and a timeline of everything that we're talking about. So go over there and sign the petition and check the registry for Kanai'oluwalu. If you want to get off of it, they need you to sign a form and mail it in. So either way, you can print it off of the internet, you can email them, but they'll send you a form that you need to mail back.
Okay, I think it's time for us to turn over this thing. Back to food.
What happened was, that's how far we was when we did the first Aloha Aina. But since then, a lot of things have happened, so I added some more slides that those guys don't know about. I just So basically, we have the Naiapuni thing happening. Kalamai from my back over here. And so the first reaction was protesting that, right? So that was the protest Naiapuni. And if you want to know more about that, go to that website. The other thing that we did is we started this Aloha Aina, and to date we've had one in Hilo, Waimea, Kona, Kau, and today in Kalapana. We had 2 on Oahu, and in Kanegohe we had like 350 people coming out, in Waianae over 200 people. So the Kanaka are ready, and all of you, it looks like, are ready to find out what is the truth and what can we do together. And then we also had one on Maui, and this morning our first virtual Aloha Aina using the Zoom, where you can project the stuff, where people can look at it on their computer or their phone. And the Salt Lake Hawaiian Civic Club got together at their regular meeting, and we did this presentation to them virtually online. So that's an exciting piece. And so what we really want to do is to continue perpetuating the values of our kupuna. So as the Aloha Aina, we're grounded in the values of our kupuna, aloha, malama, lokahi, all of those ones. We welcome all who want to contribute. So contrary to Naiapuni, which had our own people arrested, we invite you to be a part of this process, and we want to make it a collaborative process. Not just some self-declared leaders thinking they know everything. We also want to use, as I mentioned earlier, modern technology, and we have a whole Manawai team that has been doing, what are those kind of videotaping and then shooting it out to other places, I forget the word. Streaming, Kalawai, streaming the different, and Periscope, the different types of meetings, and then also we get together online as a core group and bala'au every other week. And bestest part, doesn't cost you 1 cent. Zero taxpayer money is wasted compared to millions and millions going down the drain. So the next piece that we did, starting this Aloha Aina, and then also starting this declaration reaffirming independence. And Charmaine will do that.
Okay. I want to read the declaration for you so that you can at least get to hear it and know what we're talking about when we ask for you to sign and be a full supporter. Declaration reaffirming independence and protesting Naiapuni and the United States federal recognition. Whereas Kanaka Maoli are the first peoples of Ko Hawaii Pai Aina, the Hawaiian archipelago, since time immemorial. Whereas the Kingdom of Hawaii was recognized as a nation in 1843 by the then Family of Nations. Whereas the multi-ethnic Kingdom of Hawaii, the majority of which were Kanaka Maoli, was overthrown in 1893 by a small clique of American businessmen with the assistance of the United States military. Whereas the living descendants of the citizens of the Kingdom of Hawaii, like their ancestors, continue to assert unrelinquished sovereignty over Ko Hawaii Pai Aina. Whereas in 2014, the Department of Interior ignored all verbal testimony for restitution, reconciliation, self-determination, and independence as the DOI continues to pursue the path of federal recognition for Native Hawaii, recognition for Hawaii. Therefore, be it resolved that we, the undersigned, reaffirm our right to independence and self-determination. We repudiate Naiapuni's false claim to be the representative voice of all Kanaka Maoli people. We reject present and future U.S. attempts through the DOI to federally recognize the Kanaka Maoli people on par with the Native American tribes under the document entitled Procedures for Establishing Formal Government-to-Government Relationship with the Native Hawaiian community. We assert our commitment to uphold and honor the ongoing endeavors of the Maka'ainana to rebuild our lahui via, among other ways, number 1, the reclamation of our gathering rights, number 2, the spread of Olelo Hawaii and the re-envisioning of our educational system, the revitalization of our traditional resource stewardship that assures food sustainability through responsible stream, estuary, and reef management, as well as hollow farming and fish pond upkeep. Number 4, resistance of the perils of climate change via the pursuit of truly independent economic system free from the stranglehold of transnational corporations. Number 5, the reinvigorating reinvigoration of traditional means of healing such as aipono, ho'oponopono, and lomi-lomi, and the protection of mahipana like Mauna Kea, Waipio, and Haleakala. Number 6, the expansion of scholarly research to uncover the full range of traditional knowledge that our kupuna gifted us. Finally, we shall unify all efforts to create an independent Hawaii and so restore Hawaii Aina to the descendants of the Hawaiian Kingdom for a better future for generations to come. Aloha.
So in February 22nd, 8 of the Naiaupuni protesters were arrested outside of the Naiaupuni when they tried to come onto the premises to, as Hawaiians, present their concerns to this AHA that was supposed to be making some decisions about our future. And so this is what the outcome of that AHA was, without our input, without anybody being allowed to have any contact with and discussion with people that didn't sign up to be part of this group. And I don't, the 120, I'm not exactly sure if that number is correct. I was trying to add it up, but if it's a few numbers off, Kalamai about that. But these were unelected participants. So in other words, self-declared leaders. Nobody elected them. Nobody said you speak for me kind of a thing, unless they represented, their ohana or something like that. And so these unelected participants supposedly passed this thing they call a constitution. It's passed behind a locked gate and heavy security, and it's basically a constitution that would recognize us as a native Hawaiian nation, similar to an Indian nation. The vote was 88 in favor, 30 against. I thought that was also some people who did not. There was one that
and
32A, one that abstained, and then 88 in favor. So out of all our kanaka, 500, what is it? Something, 500,000 kanaka, 88 somehow think that they can make decisions for the rest of us 500,000. Yeah, so we will, basically from our understanding, now this thing, we're calling it a dated 88 constitution because again, the gates were closed for anybody else to enter. Before they can do anything with it, it's going to require some kind of ratification, and they're talking about doing it within the next month, is what I heard yesterday on the plane. And it's going to be some kind of a rubber stamp by somebody saying that this constitution somehow represents our views. I really don't know how, but that's sort of the game that's being played. And what it basically means is there's going to be no returns of land, as we said earlier, except for the island of Kaho'olawe, and all the other federally controlled Hawaiian lands, all the ceded lands, are going to be off the table as far as ever getting it back to us, because once this deal is done, they'll say, well, you did your deal, it's done, and power. And so it's going to result in loss of Hawaiian lands, because if it's ratified by us some way or another, we really don't know what the plan there is. This, what we're calling the 1988 Constitution, is going to potentially create a U.S. recognized Hawaiian sovereign entity, and that would, in their mind, settle once and for all Hawaiian rights to nearly 2 million acres that we talked about earlier of national Hawaiian lands, which are commonly known as the ceded lands, even though nobody will cede them at all. And the other thing is, to me, there's going to be no change in anything that we're currently experiencing. So this is supposed to be something that makes us better, right? But if this is ratified, nothing is going to happen to us in the horrible statistics that we currently have. For example, education. State of Hawaii Constitution, Article 10, about education, the state shall have a system of education, the state shall integrate Hawaiian, and they will do that, but at least it's in the Constitution. These guys, not one word about education. Every single constitution that I've ever looked at includes education. Because if you are not in control of your own education, if you have other people telling you what is right, what is wrong, what you should learn and not learn, that's not sovereignty, that's not self-determination, that's brainwashing. And so, if this is passed, nothing will change. Our kids will stay in the DOE, 70,000 Hawaiian kids, in a system that even HSTA is admitting practices institutionalized racism. And we're going to leave our kids in there, and we're going to allow this kind of education to continue, which means we're going to stay on the bottom of every single good indicator like health, money, jobs, cultural practices, our language, whatever it is, and we're going to be on the top of every negative indicator like jail, like poor health, yeah, suicide, abuse, family abuse, whatever, because that's what the DOE has done. So this constitution says absolutely nothing about changing our educational, our health, and our socioeconomic status, and that is a minimum requirement of every constitution in the world. And so what we ask you to do is to take a stand.
I also wanted to acknowledge that Uncle Ching was one of those 30 people who stood up against that resolution. I know there was Uncle. So what we can do today is sign the petition for protesting Na'iaupuni, not participate in their election or voting process or whatever they have. Remove your name from the Kanegi Olumalu roll. And for more information, you can go to that website, www.protestna'iaupuni.com. And then another thing you can do is become active. Plan on an Aloha Aina meeting in your community, somewhere near you. Become an official Aloha Aina sponsor or supporter. We have shirts on property now for our fundraiser shirts, so that we can hopefully continue to bring these information sessions to the community. You can contact us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook pages, emails. Just contact us with any information that you might have.
And anybody can sign a petition for that.
Okay, yeah, anybody can sign the petition. It's not just Native Hawaiians or Kanaka Maoli. Everybody can sign it.
Last week, yeah. And then he's going to talk about the keynote and our next step as we continue. We're going to break down into groups after his presentation and organize into the different body parts and continue to talk story and brainstorm.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah everyone for being here, making it out, and to the Keliko Malu Ohana for having us, hosting us. This is our first Aloha Aina here, but we actually had in Aha, and we had a keynote building and a declaration writing workshop back in La Kuoko'a last year, which is November 28th, a very special date for Ko'awai Pai'aina and for our people. So I wanted to acknowledge that it's great to be back where we started a little bit over here. And that's kind of how this works, right? Aloha Aina, the legacy of Aloha Aina. We stand on the shoulders of our kupuna, of our ancestors, yeah, which stand on the bones, really, of our ancestors who came before us. So we honor their legacies. You know, a few of them we honored already, Puhi Pao, and Dr. Kikuni, and Navahi, and George Helm, and all these other great Aloha Aina patriots who came before us. We're trying to do the best we can to honor them and to move forward as the Lahui. So I'm going to share with you the kino, which has kind of been the symbol of this Aha Aloha Aina, this symbol of unity, yeah, because we're getting to a point where people are trying to leave us behind, yeah. People are writing their own constitutions, leading amongst themselves, and trying to make decisions on behalf of our people. To us, some of the grassroots organizers, you know, some of the long-time Aloha Aina, it's just not pono, right? Our kupuna told us, Nana ike kumu, yeah, look to the source, look to the teachings of our ancestors. And so, for a lot of people coming into the Aloha Aina movement, Hawaiian movement, the independence movement for Hawaii, we don't know where to start a lot of times. Yeah, there's a lot of different factions. Yeah, and I don't like to say because it's not a faction, it's a fractal. Yeah, it's just a splitting of the light, because there wouldn't be any factions if the U.S. would acknowledge who we are, would acknowledge the truth of our nation, of our Aina. Yeah, there wouldn't be any factions, right? So a lot of people, we don't know where to start, right? There's all these kingdom groups out there, right? There's the acting Hawaiian government, there's the Polynesian Kingdom of Atui, there's the lawful Hawaiian government, which holds down the fort right here. And all of those groups and organizations have been doing tireless work to educate our communities, to organize, and to come together. But for us, we wanted to start before that, before even the time of the kingdom, before the constitution that the Queen was overthrown for in '93, before the constitution in 1887 that was given at gunpoint. Yeah, a bayonet was directed at Kalakaua for him to sign that. Before even the 1864 Constitution, the last lawfully ratified one, and the organic laws of 1840 and so forth. So we're starting at the beginning. Yeah, Nana ike kumu. We're looking to the very basis of all of these kingdom groups, all of this governance that our people, that is in our mo'okuauhau, that is in our genealogy as people of this place, Hawaii. So we're starting with this concept of the kino. Yeah, and the kino comes to us from David Malo, and it's called the Kalai Moku, or the Civil Polity. And it's from David Malo's works, which are published in the Hawaiian Antiquities, chapter 38. You can go check him out. We're just sharing the very basis, but there's a whole lot more to this kino concept. Yeah, it's a traditional Hawaiian government, but structured like a body. Yeah. So I'm going to read some of his words. This is David Malo. So the word Kalai Moku related to the civil polity or government of the land. The government was supposed to have one body, a kino. As the body of a man is one, provided with a head, with hands, feet, and numerous smaller members. So the government has many parts, but one organization. So the kino is just a metaphor, right? It's the model, and how simple of a model is. Just look at yourself, right? So the corporate body of the government was the whole nation, including the common people and the chiefs under the king. This is seen to be the case from the fact that in a country where there are no people, there is no government, such as on Kaula and Nihoa and some of the other islands further up the Hawaiian archipelago. Yeah, they don't have any people living there, so they don't necessarily need governance, right? So when you have people, when you have kinos to take care of, yeah, that's when you use this concept. The king was the real head of the government, or queen, yeah. The chiefs below the king, the shoulders and chest. The priest of the king's idol was the right hand, the minister of the interior, which is called the Kanaka Kalai Moku, the left hand of the government. The soldiery were the right foot of the government, the Nako, while the farmers and fishermen were the left foot. The people who performed the miscellaneous offices represented the fingers and toes. So this was the theory on which the ancients worked. And the way we've been talking about this is from a time before time. This is from the time before time, yeah? There's no specific timetable. We know Umiali law back in, before the 1600s utilized the kino, yeah? But it could have came from way before then. We say the time before time, yeah? This is the theory on which the ancients worked. So again, here's the kino, and then I brought one of the first kinos we constructed, which this awesome graphic, was based off of. And so again, you see, yeah, our po'o, our head of state, yeah, it's the mo'i, it's the king, it's the queen, it's the executive, yeah. But it's also like right now, we don't have a king, we don't have a queen. Our last queen was Lili Okolani. But those interests are vested in the Aina. Yeah, the Aina is our chief. The Aina is our po'o. So it's symbolic that the Aina is our po'o at this moment. But as for the other body parts, yeah, you have kahuna, the spiritual and cultural leaders. Kumu. Oh my. These guys are more organized than I am, that's for sure. So we're asking, what is your kuleana? And some of us, we do all of these things. Yeah, we teach, we fish, we farm, we stand up to injustice. We have communications and do media and all kinds of things. But what is your kuleana for the lahui? Yeah, for this time where we're uprising, yeah, where we're reawakening, the Renaissance, yeah, is coming back. What is our specific kuleanas and talents as it relates to the rest of the lahui? How can we best serve our people? And which body part can you strengthen? Where do you fit in? So again, the kahuna, the spiritual cultural leaders, the kumuhula, the educators, healers, scientists, yeah, managers. That's the kahuna hand. Yeah, that's number one, I believe, the right hand. That was the right hand of the head of state. Yeah, you think a political would be the right hand, but it was actually the kahuna, the spiritual leaders, right? And all of these different, they break out into different fingers and different parts, right? So number two, kalaimoku, political leaders, lawyers, politicians, economists, executives, and so forth, yeah? And we're not limited to just these. There's a whole bunch more. We live in a new world where there's new roles that we're all thinking about, yeah? Number three, mahi'ai and lawaia, farmers, fishermen, hunters, gatherers, service providers, producers, chefs. Yeah, these are the ones that create the economics. Yeah, create the economic generation. Yeah, the producers. And then the nakua, yeah, warriors, protectors, resource managers, law enforcement, firefighters, soldiers, anyone who protects the national interests of the lahui. And then manovai is actually a new concept that we've instilled into this concept of the kino because we live in this, 2016, a day of information and technology and so forth. It's kind of crucial that we look at the inner workings of the kino. Yeah, the manovai is the respiratory system. Yeah, it's what circulates the blood throughout the kino. So that we have the communications, the media people, information technology, the network specialists, entertainers, educators, and so forth. Yeah. So what we're going to try to do today is something that we've done at the other ahas. which is split up according to these Kino parts. Yeah, so if you're an educator, you might want to go with the kahuna, the right hand. If you're a fisherman or a hunter, you might want to go with the mahi'ai, lavai'a. If you're into politics, you want to go with the kalai moku, and so on and so forth. And so what we're going to try to do is have breakout groups so we can start talking about these issues. Yeah, talking about the biggest threats, perhaps, right? The areas of focus. Where can we start working together? If you have a project that you're already working on, you need collaboration from the community with. Now's the time to bring it up, bring it to the Kino, bring it to the Lahui, so we can start plugging in and helping each other. But then, I think almost Paul. And then, so the small group agreements, yeah, love each other, aloha kikahi kikahi. That was Uncle Robert's #1 rule. So that goes anytime you're down here in the kingdom, yeah. Aloha kikahi kikahi, demonstrate mutual respect, be concise, stay on topic, listen with aloha, seek to understand before being understood, and have fun, right? We Kanakas, we came down here for a reason, right? Let's enjoy our time together. And let's build the relations that are going to be intrinsic to our success as a Lahui. We're doing this from a grassroots level, and this is how we have to do it. We cannot just assume things for other people. We have to have our conversations with each other. We have to have a starting point that everyone can sit at the same table at. Yeah? And so agreement, unity is the overall goal. We're keeping a record, so if you can take notes, we have some people taking notes, and brainstorm for future events, future action, and the ongoing communication that is already happening in places like Facebook, online, protectnaiaupuni.com, protestnaiaupuni.com, aloha-aina.com, and all these other subcategories that are already in motion from the other AHA. And we have some real basics here. You can start by just introducing yourselves in your group. Here's an easy one. And just get to know each other. We want to hear the issues that are affecting your communities and the solutions that we can all start being a part of. So we're going to have actually 5 different we're going to have 5 different group leaders. Okay, so everybody listening right now, Kalapana. So we're going to split up into the 5 Kino parts now. Now it's where we're going to have that conversation and start working together. So for kahuna, #1, if you're an educator or are you interested in the education, the spiritual, cultural side, folks will be right here at this front table. So if you're kahuna, you're interested in that, we're going to be right here. Kalai moku, the left hand, right over there. Uncle Paco with a P. You guys, if you're into politics, go check them out, we'll talk story. We have the Mahi'ai and Lavai'a, which is going to be with Chandel over here at this back table. So if you're a hunter or a fisher or, you just like to cook maybe, that's a nice place to be. And then Nakoa, we have the warriors with Kainoa. Where you guys going to be at? Right here in the front? Okay, so right here in the front, the Nakoa. And then last, the Manovai communications. We're going to be right back here at this corner. Who's going to lead that one? We got, Camila over here. Oh, she's going to be right here too. Okay. Okay, yeah, so communications with Camille over here. Kainoa with the Nakoas right over here. Chandel with the Mahi'ai and Lavai'a back there. Uncle Paco with the Kalai Moku political leaders over there. And the Kahuna with Auntie Pooh right over here. So we're going to have our breakouts now and then get back together when we're done and have a nice conversation. We have any questions? Now's the time. Anybody got questions? Okay, so for now, we're just gonna have our breakouts. Oh, okay, one question? No, we are not making a constitution here. We have many constitutions already that our people have diligently created for us. Yes, so if you're interested in constitution, actually, Uncle Paka in the political Kalapana group, he's going to be talking about the various kingdom constitutions, the ones that make most sense, and that conversation will be had over there. It's a good question, though.
Over by Yay, 101.
Is Primo or somebody else there that can help with technology? I just need to unplug the computer, please. Sam? Yeah, right. Mahalo.
Okay, this is awesome participating and take you guys' hands together for yourself for participating. Right on there, right on. Awesome, you guys, awesome. Mahalo again to Uncle Sammy and the new Ohana down here, Kalapana, for hosting us down here for Aloha Aina 2016. So we got the most excited one over here was presenting doing presentation first, the Manawai. We're just waiting for the Kahunas, the educational department over there. Are we ready? We're gonna get you guys' presentation ready. We're gonna summarize everything and put together what you guys discussed. Okay, we're going to start with the Manawai first because she's the most excited one. This is Mia gang, so Kalapana gang, you just want to come pull in up in front of here, participate, it would be great. Aloha, all come in over here. You guys can stay there, you guys are pretty close. We're going to try the politicians last because they always got so much to say. You know, we're going to start the summary and do the presentation by this guys. The three girls. Leah. Three guys, you gotta come up over here. It's all about participation, you know why? They're watching you guys all over the world. So, in Honolulu, Maui, Molokai. No, I'm serious. You're gonna be on the news and everything. Our news. It's called awareness. So, go ahead, gang. You guys ready? Leah.
Aloha Kapo. So in Manawai, we were talking about really targeting.
I'm sorry. Before we start, we need all you guys to stop discussions on the side, please. Excuse. We need to all stop discussions on the side. We don't have any other talking about kukaku over there. But you can understand what she's talking about. So, you guys, pay attention, okay? Also, I'm gonna send a bounce on you guys. Okay, without any further ado, Leah, go ahead.
As I was saying, in the Manawai meeting.
Oh, the music savvy.
Sister, introduce yourself. Introductions.
I'm Leah. I work with the Manawai group. And today we were focusing on really targeting our strategy of reaching out in the homeland communities to primarily educate about Puni and expose the corruptions that are happening right now. Another thing was to begin kind of a bartering system and bartering opportunities within the community and kind of document with maps where people are, the needs that they have, the issues, the things they're concerned about, and entering all of that into a database that we can all access and then reach out, and that is like a launching point for other activities. And in doing these things, to build really work on the community building and for awareness of each other and the whole movement. So my people over here will talk a little bit more about the bartering idea.
Bartering is a good kind of keyword for it, but really it's getting really deep here. I mean, all we need is the land and each other, and this illusion of money is really like a modern day slave chain on all of us around the world, and it's the prime way that they're colonizing the entire world right now as we speak. And if we can sort of like bring this bigger conversation down to earth a little bit and just sort of go door to door, figure out what everybody actually needs, childcare, food, help building houses, help with all kinds of projects, and then we enter it into a database. And there's also an app that I know that Rama is working on right now that does the same. I mean, there's different ways you can do this. There's people who will be more technologically apt, there's people who will just go door to door and deal with each other, but really making all of our interactions happen without money is a really important thing. And then also with the door-to-door, so it's kind of a separate thing, but it's in the same conversation. Puni has had different transformations of their name, and really the bottom line is sort of educating people about what they did to America, to all the different people there, and how they're trying to do the exact same here, and just really educating people on that process of colonization. So that no matter what name they want to call it, people will understand what that actually means when people try to present you with this idea in different ways again and again and again and again. So, that's all. And then, you have an idea? Oh.
So I just wanted to mention that part of this idea of going into the homeland communities is that we'll be putting out a fahel to all the different kino for volunteers to come and get trained. We'll be putting together the information so that, kind of a script, different handouts to give, make sure everybody knows how to conduct themselves, how to bring yourself and present ourselves as Aloha Aina, and to make sure that everybody has that opportunity to go out to all the communities. And then we'll be videoing that so that it can go throughout all the islands as well.
And another element to what they're putting forward is just media, video, dance, music, theater, art. And so one thing we spoke specifically about was a festival idea where, and I just had another idea where you could do 4 festivals per month, one here, one Waimea, one Kona, one Hilo. Everybody gets, it goes around the island, which is basically a music, multicultural, multi-generational, multimedia event that disseminates this information in between and within all the arts that are presented at that festival. So it provides a kind of medium for people to get this. And part of the thing that I feel is really crucial is that particularly the corruption. Once people understand the level of corruption and the nature of the corruption, it becomes more of a no-brainer. You don't have to do quite as much history. You could just start with, do you realize, what the context is here that we're talking about? And if you just realize that, then everything else just supports, oh my God, it's time to recreate ourselves anew here. Obviously, we don't want to be participating in this mafia system. So also documentary videos that are multicultural, multimedia events, educational situations that are also utilizing the different media. And needless to say, all of us bumping it up a notch in terms of networking through the Facebook, everything like that. Everybody can contribute in that way. And then, could I mention something about the app that you had mentioned that Ivy was working on, or somebody was, that would be a good thing to talk about. I'll just briefly say it's basically a trade bartering app so that you put in, I need honey, and you got, what's that, the roller, the key in the roller to, I got a brand new pair of roller skates, you got a brand new key. It's like that, except if you did it on a highly organized level, everybody would have access to childcare when they needed it. And everybody would be able to eat when they needed to eat, not later. So part of that would be artistically done, also. So those are the three main kind of things that we looked at of many. I think that's it.
You guys once again up the Mano by ladies. How's this? That's some communication. That is unbelievable. Good work, girls. Now we're going to turn this into reality with everybody participating. We're going to bring up the Kahuna gang now.
Aloha. My name is Lihiu. I'm taking the place of Fu tonight, but I'm usually in the Monkey Island group. Tonight we had a mix of previous attendees and mostly newcomers. I'm so glad you guys came first, because you answered a lot of questions that we talked about, the possibilities, and how we cross over and can communicate with one another and help each group and help ourselves raise ourselves up to a higher vibration and standard. And I'm so glad that you folks came on first, because you were our last discussion on how we can utilize each group to mobilize education. So education for majority of our group here, it ranges anywhere from wanting to create programs for tourists who come to Hawaii and begin to educate them on true facts. And not just going to the beach and not knowing what the beach is all about. And from going from creating programs to reestablishing and refurbishing our heiau in the proper way. Educating ourselves, which is always the basic and the beginning of all things, is getting the right facts and the truth in order to begin to deliver it out to others and understand, how do I fit into that? How does that affect me? And does anybody want to say anything? Come on, I want to get you guys to come up and talk. Come on. No shame, come up and talk.
Right there, behind you, sister.
This is Kamaki.
Aloha. Yeah. So in our group, we were talking about different things, and of course education is permeating throughout the whole, it's something that you can't separate from one group to another. It's all part of the whole system. The education is really important, so we all know that. But what kind of education, Antiku, Akala's working on a whole program of education, Hawaiian-oriented education, which is really important. But from our table over here, our small group, I know a lot of us, myself included, we sit down and then from a group, we're like, we look at each other like, what kind of kahuna are you, what kind of kahuna am I don't know. I know we're all here. Those of us that are here are the kahunas because we're here trying to fill that position. We're in the process of learning ourselves. I'm not a kahuna in anything traditional, I would say, really. I'm an expert in certain things, but those can be applied to benefit the lahui. But we all have that. So that was the point I was trying to share with our group, was that we're all kahunas. We all have expertise, we have mastered things in life, and we've learned from those things, and from that process we can learn more. And when we come together and find out that we all have all these different backgrounds and interests and education, formal or otherwise, experiences, natural things that have been given to us by our amaku, our kupuna, our hana, that passed down from our genetic memory. Some is coming out, some is more on the surface, some is deeper inside, waiting to come out. But by activating, by coming together, sitting at the table, we don't have to feel shame like we're not adequate as a kahuna, because we all have expertise. It's just building on that. And then when the real kahunas show up, we'll be able better to serve them and learn from them as well. I guess all I'm saying about that, our group, is that we're still forming and we're still not coordinated yet. But as our little group gets coordinated and as all the different various groups get coordinated, then the body will begin to walk more smoothly. And we can have more direction, and we have a better perspective because we're not looking at our feet, we're looking down the road and looking all around, in front and in back, and all sides. But I just want to share one little quick thing I share with them, and it's only because I may not have another opportunity to say this or bring it up, but it's kind of like off on a tangent, but yet it is related. And I just like to take a moment to share with all of you that we all come from different backgrounds, whatever people want to consider as Hawaiian, or whatever people talk about all day long, all the different legal terms like capital N, Native Hawaiian, we understand that people are trying to put us in a box, trying to say that we're a certain type of people, since Captain Cook came before the people lived here before that. What about Gaetano? This ship came right over here, offshore over here, back in 1555. Why are they saying Captain Cook? So this is all being done by some outside entities trying to determine who we are, when we need to just be ourselves and let them know that we know who we are. We're waiting for you guys to understand that you cannot change us by your will. You cannot just tell us we're something else. You can't just set up all kinds of laws and take our country and then tell us we're not who we are. You can break the laws, but you can't change who we are. So what I wanted to share with you is, as I mentioned to them, anybody ever heard of a Dalmatian? It's a dog. Dalmatian are very proud people. Dalmatian, like the Hawaiians, are navigating people, they're ocean people. They live in the islands of the Adriatic, on the coastline of the Balkan coast, where they've been overrun by the Greeks, the Illyrians, the Romans, the Austro-Hungarians, the Venetians, the Italians. Everybody has claimed them, but they've never lost their identity. What they don't have is what we have. They don't have the opportunity to restore, or actually to formally be recognized, not by the federal government, but by the nations of the world, as their own country, their own flag, their own government, their own system to operate their culture and their identity and their people. They don't have that, but we do. We have that opportunity. As hard as the road may seem to be, as difficult it has been for our kupuna, as difficult as it is for some of us today and for even in the future, we have an opportunity where others don't have that opportunity. Because 1,000 years from now, I don't want people to say, oh yeah, you heard the Hawaiian, yeah, isn't that fighting chicken? It's a Hawaiian fighting chicken. It's like people think Dalmatian is a dog. Yeah, Dalmatians are dogs from Dalmatia, but Dalmatians are people, they're a nation. They're people, and nobody's ever conquered them. Not the Ottomans, not the Venetians. They're pirates and fishermen, and they will maintain their identity. We will maintain our identity, but I would like to see us arrive at the point where we are flying our nation flag on our buildings that we run, manned by all the positions that are being manned by the state or the county or the federal, whatever. We need to have our people in those positions. So we have the infrastructure, we all know we have the country, we have the nation, we have the physical country, we have the nation, we have the people. We don't have the government in effect right now, but we have the infrastructure of the government. We just need to refill those positions. But the first step is the Aloha Aina, because together we can make this happen, regardless of whatever affiliations we might have had in the past as far as sovereignty goes. Here we have a common ground, real common ground. Nobody's telling us, paying us, we're not paying anybody. We're all here out of our own will, our own desire, our own hope to build a nation. Not to build a nation, but really to restore our nation properly, so it's functioning properly. And we have everything we need to do that. And I don't want to take any more time to just say mahalo to all of you for coming out here. Please spread the word. Please bring more people next time. This is going to be growing, and if we stay Pono, I've said it before in other venues, if we stay Pono, we will progress, we will get to our goals. If we lose it and decide an easy way or not so Pono way, it ain't going to work that way. We got to stay Pono and then just keep moving forward together, and we'll get more coordinated. We'll be some of you running and jumping and leaping and all kinds of stuff.
I want to give a younger perspective of the Kahuna and education department.
Aloha, I'm Ka'oi. Some of the things that we talked about in the Kahuna group was, the question about, what about the people that doesn't have degrees? And, I thought about it as, I'm getting my bachelor's right now, and my mentor, he doesn't have his degree, but he is very knowledgeable in what he does. So he's trying to teach me as much as he can to raise what we want to do as people who restore our cultural resources. And so this Aloha Aina is a good opportunity for us to go in grassroots to educate and restore and get a hold of our cultural resources without any other government entities stopping us from doing the things that we need to do the way we want to do it. And so some of the ideas that we had in the Kahuna group, or at least mine and my mentor, Uncle Keawekane-Stafford, we wanted to start a Kahuna Hui Hui Pu'one, kind of like a group, a core group, for us to go out there and restore heiau on a grassroots level, where we would find people from other islands with that same interest or on our moku to gather to get a hold of our cultural resources. And we can use technology such as paintable mapping that we are doing now today, modern technology to restore these things. So that's some of the conversations that we had there. And doing it in a grassroots way, we don't need to feel the pressure of getting our degrees or just that setback. We can work together collectively to come together to find your expertise and just do the work. Go in and educate people, come together, go gather at these festivals and present, have tables set up and educate people right there while we're listening to music, enjoying each other's company, eating food from the Mahirai group, or fishermen. So I think that education is throughout the Kino and it doesn't only belong to the Kahuna. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Mahalo.
Mahalo. I'm going to bring up Kainoa and the Nakoa going to say something. Sorry again, we can only press it with them. We have 3 more and we're going to close them in lock. Yeah. After that, we're going to get the Kalai Moku. This is Kainoa.
Aloha everybody. So, Nakoa group tonight talked a little bit about, kind of ran the gamut a little bit, from anywhere from gun control to standing army. But I want to highlight some of the main points that were brought up. One of the main points that were brought up as far as what we might need, as far as stuff we're right in front of our face. Auntie Tammy brought up a good thing about having a security force in place for gatherings when the kupuna need to go and do something, that they have a force of Nakoa there just to show presence, to kako the kupuna, and if anybody stands out of line, then they can go over there and handle that. So along with that, some of the other things that came up, we talked about rehabilitation, our prison system, and the concept of restorative justice. So, restorative justice is a Polynesian ideal. We had it here in Hawaii. It's a way for people to, when they've done something hateful, there's a way for them to come and regain their position in where they may have left prior to that hateful. So, it's an important concept. I think it needs a lot more discussion amongst all groups, because this is one of those things, one issue that encompasses every part of the kingdom. So we're talking about, how Anakoa should carry themselves. We've been going through all the rest of these moku, and we've been talking about the characteristics of what make a Anakoa. So we talked about that. One of the things that I wanted to just throw out there, because we had kind of a small group, but the way I see it, we had the biggest group, because I count everybody in here amongst Nakoa. And then to Uncle Ku's point, we never had a standing army, but that's because we never needed one. Whenever we needed something, everybody would couple, everybody would jump in, everybody would come, drop what they're doing, and go attend to whatever needed to be done, whether it was Lavaila, whether it was building Keao. We couldn't do it by ourselves. It's people lining up for miles from Honolulu Valley to build Heao. So
Put your paddle in.
straight. So one of the things I just want to kind of leave you guys with, we're talking about off the AHA main group, just in Messenger, talking about different things to bring up. One of the things that we brought up was a code of conduct for Nakoa. So I just wanted to leave you guys with this. I think this code of conduct was written by Hayden Burgess in 1985. Thank you, Uncle Papa, for sharing this with me, by the way. So I just want to read the main points for you guys. So, number one in code of conduct, this is the Hawaiian code of conduct. Since the Hawaiian language is a fundamental pillar for our identity, we shall make every effort to learn, use, teach, and support the sustaining of our Hawaiian language. Point number two, our children are the most treasured investments in values and traditions of our culture. We must make every effort to cultivate in the children the pride in being Hawaiian and provide every possible opportunity for them to learn the values and traditions of our people. We shall practice aloha, the heritage from our ancestors, mindful of the virtues of akahai, lokahi, olu, ha'aha'a, and ahonui. We shall engage in hard work, realizing that laziness breeds unhappiness in weak minds. We shall continually strive for spiritual development and adopt an attitude of tolerance and understanding to those who conceive of spirituality in a way different from our own. We shall extend and display respect to all others, which reflects our own appreciation of humanity. We shall carry our pride quietly, neither boasting of ourselves nor speaking badly of others, often a dishonest method of self-praise. Yet we must be unashamed of our principles and honest in our criticism. We shall try to avoid conflict and cooperate with those who do not understand and whom we do not understand. Yet we speak our truth openly and stand firm with our own beliefs and assert our Hawaiian identity. We shall be patient, enduring the pains of injustice, but never surrendering to our own such injustice. We shall respect and engage in humor, the helper of love and affection, and the positive expression of humanity. So, I think this pretty much encompasses what it means to be Hawaiian. But we do one more. Let's see if I can do that real fast. Sorry, I'm supposed to do it. Okay, one last thing, and I like this. even though Hawaiian didn't write it. But I think it applies to Nakoa. So I will develop my life for the greater good. I will place my character above riches and concern for others above personal wealth. I will never boast but cherish humility instead. I will speak the truth at all times if I ever keep my word. I will defend those who cannot defend themselves. I will honor and respect women and refute sexism in all its guises. I will uphold justice, being fair to all. I will be faithful in love and loyal in friendship. I will abhor scandals and gossip, neither partake or delight in them. I will be generous to the poor and those who need my help. I will forgive when asked, that my own mistakes will be forgiven. I will live my life with courtesy and honor from this day forward. You guys know what that's from? That's the oath of the Knights of the Round Table. So I'll leave you guys with that. Think about it, marinate on it. Think about how you fit into Nanako and Kino. Aloha.
Awesome. Put your hands together for Kainoa. The Nakos is rising again. We're all Nakos, every one of us. When the time comes, you gotta be there. We'll call it the Kalai Moko now. Uncle Paka will go pee. Paka. And we can close it with all care at the end, so. I think that about now. Paka, you're up. No, you now. Yeah, get the political stuff out of our way. Aloha access play. Bring that in.
Aloha. Facilitator with Kalai Local Group, and I just want to mahalo Aloha Aina. 100 years old participating in our group. And it's just nice, enough arguing and stuff, get it done. A little more time for it. Anyway, one of the main things we talked about was Constitution, how to move forward. But the Constitution seems to be one of the issues that is maintaining the division and not allowing the unity to occur. So we need to somehow get together and agree on how we're going to take that step forward in restoring our government. So a lot of people support between 1839, which is the Declaration of Rights, over 1864. There's also people that support 1887 because the Queen had swore to the uphold the Constitution. And there's also people that support the 1893 draft Constitution of Queen Aloha. So we have a broad range of support. So we need to work on that. So I'm not sure how we're going to get to that, but it's going to take a lot more discussion. And I explained to this group, as we have experienced in previous meetings here, that our discussion, we just don't have the time to get to the discussions that we need to have. So by the time we get through one round of comments, we're out of time. I like the approach on Oahu, and I believe they had like an 8-hour meeting there, and they give this time to more fully discuss the issues rather than having these brief meetings. But as a facilitator of the Kalai Local Group, I do plan on calling a meeting, physical meeting, a full day or perhaps a weekend meeting of all the Kalai Local participants so that we can more fully engage in the discussion of how we can move the process of restoring our government forward. These short meetings, I think we cannot really come up with any tangible thing, anything that we can actually move forward on because we don't have the agreement on how to make this first step. And we do have Aloha Aina Kalai Local Group on Facebook. For everybody that signed in, I'm going to add you to the Facebook group. So you can decide to join if you want or decline, it's up to you. But I'm hoping that we can have more deep discussion in the Facebook group. But in face-to-face meetings like this, people really love to engage. But our Facebook group is like almost like people don't want to engage. I don't know what that hesitation is, but I do plan on calling for one day or possibly a 2-day meeting so we can get together and work 2A petition back here. If anybody did not sign the 2A petition or is just interested in taking a look, please do. And we also have a table back here with t-shirts for sale. You can buy Aloha Aina, which I'm modeling right now. Okay. Or there's also a pro-sovereignty Hawaii independence shirt available. So please support our business back here. And the proceeds from these shirts are going to support the people that are involved. So far it's been people taking money out of their own pockets, putting that into their gas tank instead of food on their table. So we need to at least help the people involved to not be taking money out of their pockets because they already volunteering their energy and their time.
Into our country, yeah, that's basically been the root of all the evils, right? All these invasives that come in here and just ransack this very critical habitat and ecosystem. So we need to have a team that monitors all imports that come in, yeah? And military has been one of the biggest culprits there. And they're pretty much unregulated. So there needs to be some kind of group that watches what comes in here a little bit more. Yeah, so other ideas, yeah, our health is directly related to what we are growing and eating. And we need to change the way we utilize our ag lands, yeah? We have to stop thinking about money, yeah? Stop focusing on money, start focusing on food. Like the other keynote groups we're talking about, right? We can have a bartering system. We can elevate ourselves and our social interactions to the point where we're benefiting each other. So we have to focus on food instead of money. Also, in the spirit of the keynote, right, is to sustain your own first, right? Take care of your kino first. Take care of your pahale first, yeah, your yard, yeah. Then take care of the community, and then the lahui. But it starts with your kino first, right? And on that note too, yeah, like Uncle Jerry Konanui, a very famous Puna kawa grower, yeah. He says we need a papakui'ai in every home. Yeah, we need poi pounder and a board in every home. And we need kalo in every yard. So papa in every home and kalo in every yard. Some of the issues that affect Puna specifically, yeah, water. We only have catchment. The water line ends where the highway goes, yeah. So we have a lot of communities that don't have access to water. They have to catch their own. So one of the ideas we had is to identify the old streams, yeah, the old waterways that came down here before Pele took over and rediverted them. The old springs, yeah, the old hot ponds, right? And we gotta start thinking about how we're gonna use that in a sustainable way, in an environmentally friendly way, so that we can provide the necessities to our people. We need work days, yeah? We need work days. Let's start right here in Kalapana, right? If you take a walk down the lava fields over here, you will see all kinds of stuff. It's not just lava. There's ulu growing, there's ohia growing, there's food growing here, yeah? And we need to be on the cutting edge of growing on fresh lava, on fresh aina that Pele has just graciously given to us. Yeah, we need to be on the cutting edge of how we utilize this space in the right way. And let's start right here. Let's talk to Uncle Sam and have the work day start right over here in Kainu. Yeah, we can help once a month down here. Yeah. Ulu Festival. There we go. Ulu Festival. Yeah, like that. We need new industries for Puna. Yeah, we have a lot of problems. Yeah, the state calls them problems, and they treat them with more problems, like poison, like a bug or a fungus to come in that ends up affecting something completely different, right? So we have these problems that should be solutions. Yeah. So new industries for Puna could be hala. All this hala growing along the coastline. What are we doing with it? We don't have enough weavers. We need to use it for textiles. You know, we can start identifying new industries based on what's already abundant here in Puna. Yeah, albizia. Why don't we have a plant that deals with the albizia, right? We need to make that a solution. Ohia lehua. We have our ohias dying now. What are we gonna do with them? Just let them die right there. Just watch them die slowly. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. We need to start thinking about what are we gonna do? Yeah, what are we gonna utilize it for? And then other various things like coconut oil. Why doesn't Hawaii have a coconut oil plant, right? We have coconuts everywhere. Kukui, right? There you go. And then we identified crops in Puna that we could focus on. Ulu, uala, avocado, mango, coconut. These are all things that just grow already here. So let's start taking advantage of that, what nature's already providing for us in a lot of ways. Agua as well, yeah? And some even suggested marijuana, you know? Puna already has the reputation. So let's start utilizing that, right? Let's not wait for, somebody else to capitalize on that. We have to start from the grassroots level. Tell them I hope the kids never hear that part. Honey, another big industry. Honey, yeah, Puna's already famous for its honey. Even though 1/3, I believe, of the honey that's tested has they found contaminants in it, right? Glyphosate, pesticides and stuff. But we need to have honey to actually, or bee production to help with all the other crops as well. Thinking satellite apiaries all across, yeah, so the bees have safe places to go away from the pesticides. We need community gardens. Yeah, we don't even have one. We can't identify one in Puna. We had a hard time identifying any on this island. Yeah, so we need community gardens badly, but we need also successful examples of community garden. Nobody start one other community garden if no one community garden that's leading the way, right? Showing us how to do it. So we need those successful examples. And then a few other problems, fire ants, of course, rat lung disease. We need to start putting out the information to deal with these things. Yeah, have the training for tango and safe uses, yeah. Getting into catchment systems. We talked about composting. Yeah, that's another big topic. They just shut down the septic, or the cesspools, yeah. Any new cesspools. So we gotta go back to composting. Composting outhouses, utilizing microorganisms. We need that education badly in the Puna community, right? And seed banks. Also another solution, we need seed banks for every moku, for every ahupua'a. Yeah, because we know all the invasives are coming, it's only a matter of time before they get affected. We need to start malamai in each district, right? We have almost every climate zone on this island, so we have to start looking at the climate zones, what grows good in there, what we have to preserve and focus on in each. Place-based learning, very important. Come down Kalapana, learn how to plant on the lava fields, yeah? Go Panaeva, learn how to grow in the forest, right? We need place-based solutions and place-based learning. And then the last few, going back to traditional diets and crops, we can't keep eating poison. Yeah, we have to go back to, our food is our medicine, right? So let's go back to the traditional diets and find those traditional medicines that are going to be helpful to us. And too many excuses about why we aren't growing our own food. Yeah, we're at 90% dependency. Yeah, the Aina is right here underneath our feet. Yeah, there's too big of a disconnect between your hand up here and the Aina right below it. So, too many excuses, let's just start working together. Yeah. And that's pretty much it for the left foot, Mahi Ayan Lavaya. We didn't get to talk too much about the fishing, but it kind of everything flows off the ocean, off the island into the ocean. So we figure we focus on the Aina, and it'll have its positive effects on the ocean. So mahalo nui to everybody for participating in these discussions. Can you guys just give yourself a little round of applause? Mahalo nui. Thank you for joining us today on Prince Kuhio Day. Yeah, we have to honor our Li'i, Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalaniana Ole, and all that he has done for us. Yeah, he was a scrapper. There's some controversy in what he did, but you know, we don't really know what happened back then. We weren't around, so we have to highlight the good stuff. And he was a fighter for our people, and we have to keep that spirit alive. So mahalo, Prince Kuhio. And lastly, I'd like to you know, just bring it back full circle. This is where we had the first AHA, before we even called it AHA Aloha Aina. We just had Laku Okoa over here. We built off the kino, and we created a proclamation actually, and I brought it tonight if anybody wants to check it out. And then from that night, it turned into the basis for how to do these AHA Aloha Ainas. So I just wanted to recognize two of my brothers, Kalani Akeawosi and Kepa Kaeo. They're going to share a little bit about, you know, since we utilized this kino actually at the UH system first. That's where we started. We got the 2 flagpoles, we got the 2 ahus over there. That was because we organized right from this, organically from the kupunas, from the kino. And they're going to share a little bit about that history. And briefly about a couple of other ideas happening at the UH that we can all be a part of. So mahalo you guys. I'm gonna get out of here just a little bit.
Aloha. Aloha hiai kako, kalani akeawosi ko uinoa. I'd like to share a story of how the kino for me began. Last year, but first, let's have a moment of silence for Uncle Robert. Mahalo. If it wasn't for Uncle Robert passing on, and I don't know if you guys remember the 3 weeks of snow on Mauna Kea. Yep. Like right after. It was straight. 3 weeks, I don't know if it was pushing 4, but if it wasn't for those events, I wouldn't have came down here, met my brothers, and then started activating, from there. Well, actually from Mauna Kea, but for me, that was the beginning of the kino to honor Uncle Robert and the pu'uho noa that was created by his family to allow us to be here and operate on the legal and political foundation of the royal patent, in which this land is able to operate from, and there's royal patents on all the islands. So for me, and the kino walks in the footsteps of our ancestors, which is internationally recognized Hawaiian Kingdom. And for me, that's the basis of how we operate and utilize the kino in all different venues. So last year, November 28, 2015, Laku Okoa Kalapana proclamation, preemptive strike on the Na'iaupuni Constitution. We can finish one in 2 hours with more people in less time, without all that money. Everybody bringing potluck. So it can't be done without the millions of dollars. But it's going to take all of our hard work, dedication, and perseverance. And I'm so glad and appreciative for all of our lahui that took the kino and ran with it on all the islands. And it's back here today. Mahalo to all of our Aloha Aina on all of the islands. So we didn't know the kino was going to manifest itself to walking across the archipelago ko Hawaii Pai Aina in the footsteps of the royal patent of the Keli'i Ho'omanu Ohana and Karimu Kalapana. And doing these exercises without being scared or fearful of retaliation or the county or the university to come on, start sympathizing their physical abuse. But tonight we'd like to share that the first one was that original adjusting the flag pole, that the two flags should not be standing on the same pole or underneath that. So tonight we'd like to ask that, I just want to take a small census. How much of you guys have Kingdom IDs? Doesn't matter what Kingdom IDs. Can I take a census? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 more. Well, now we can, so we have 15 here tonight. But we were trying to shoot for whoever doesn't have one. Could you guys come and talk to Aloha Aina, and then we'll try and direct you guys to get some from the local agency and Hawaiian government. And if that is getting packed up too much, we also are with down Mamo Street, Attorney General Tom Anthony, guys. They have these IDs too, and whoever is that you guys know that are participating with these local governments, to go ahead and register with them and get an ID, because in this next couple weeks we'd like to get this census again from Kaimu, and we're going to go to university, since the university is being the Pono stewards right now, if they're Kuleana, they're accepting Kingdom IDs. Wow. It's a big problem with their right now, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to go over there and exercise our rights, and we'd like to go ahead and grab some Lapa'au books, some Mahihai books, Kingdom Constitution, all of these things. So when we go in there, we have an execution of a plan of what are we going to get and what are we looking at. We want to report these things to let everybody, I know why, to see that the Kino does have activities that the community can be engaged with. So these are the things that's going to ignite our know-how, and it's going to get us moving. So if you guys can get together and we'll grab a sign-up sheet and some numbers and contacts, and we can follow up with you guys and try to direct you guys to get a ID, so we can go ahead and do another Kino activity. This is going to be our second Kino activity in the last 2 years. So we want to be active when we use this Kino, and the basis of the Kino is only for Kingdom, This is not for federal or not Native Hawaiian stuff. So all these things that we're implementing is Pono. All these things have foundations. The school has already recognized it in the library, right? Maybe the facilities haven't yet, but that's where we're going. We're going towards the books, And that's why I said we're doing educational footprints along the way using this Kino. Very crucial for our community to see these kind of events go on and be activated into these things too, This is what is going to propel us to go to the next momentum, right? And so if we could get that number and get that email or whatnot, we're going to try and facilitate you guys to the right manner and the right time, because LSG has a booth across the Civic right now. So for all the Aloha Aina patriots who are going to miss the march and do all those fun things, we're going to be down there. We're located right across the Civic. We'll be out there for 2 weeks. So you guys can come in, kick back, take a nap, bring your sign, bring some bullet, some mokupu, or whatever you guys got, and you can just sit down and get your ID. That's a place you guys can go. This week, we can organize that this week and get some IDs out there. And then we can also call up Attorney General. We can set up those things too. So if you guys know anybody else in the community that wants to participate in this Kino activity, this Kino exercise, just give us your name and number and email, and then we're going to organize these things so we can do this. I'll like to do this before the school year is over, So maybe about couple weeks, give or take. We'd like to get everybody on board, get everybody in the community makala and ready for this educational update. Mahalo everybody for showing up. Aloha Aina 2016. Mahalo to everybody who's putting together with time and effort. Thank you. Mahalo. And have a safe travel home.
Mahalo Kepa. Okay, so you guys got that. Go get yourself one ID if you never. Yeah, we got a couple places that do it, but you know what? It's about acknowledging each other, right? The state isn't going to acknowledge us. We have to start acknowledging each other, and it starts with something as simple as an ID, right? So this is something we can all do to kind of kako, and then we go out to the communities and try to use these things. Yeah, because some places do use it. Yeah, some places don't. Don't try next door. They don't like. But we have to start loaning it into our communities, right? Using our IDs where we have them. This is who we are. We have to start being who we are. And one last, we have one more announcement. Also, this year is a very important year for our lahui, for our national symbols. Yeah, the High Hawaii. Brother just talked about how we got 2 flagpoles now at UA Chino and HCC. We're gonna be having a day to honor that and honor the 200-year anniversary of our national flag, the High Hawaii, right here. And Kalaniako is going to share a little bit about that before we close with Kalana Napua. So get your voices ready.
Starting the 200th anniversary of the flag commemoration, if there's any koa wahine out there that's interested in honoring Ka'ahumanu, the ship with the Hawaiian national flag that went through the archipelago before taking the first recognized sandalwood trade, I think the koa wahine should lead this initiative in honor of Ka'ahumanu, the new class destroyer that was the most dangerous ship in the Pacific at the time, should take the lead on that one. So we can go meet on the side at one table after the meeting, and if I can speak to the leaders or whoever koa wahine that wants to participate, that would be good. Mahalo.
Mahalo. So again, this is the 200-year anniversary of our national flag, so we can't let this opportunity just pass us by, right? And then now's the time to organize, so if you want to be a part of that, come meet with Kalaniake after. April 6th is the day that's allowed in those books that commemorates that time. But there's also other dates where that ship, Ka'ahumanu, went to Maui, went to Lahaina, went to Oahu to pick up the sandalwood from Punaluu side, went to Kauai, where they gave that flag to Kauai, who was flying the Russian flag before them, right? So these are different dates that are coming up this year, the 200-year anniversary of our national flag, and it would be shame if we never celebrate or acknowledge that just a little bit. So again, mahalo nui to everybody who came to our Aloha Aina, a grassroots effort to educate, engage, and to build the lahui with each other. Give you guys a round of applause. And then, if everybody can stand up, if you can stand for us, we're gonna sing a very important song, Kaulana Napua. Is Uncle Sam here? Uncle Sam. We can put something on the screen. Usually we have the lyrics, that's why, yeah? So, yeah, I can try to put them from my phone.
It's in the pamphlet.
Oh, it's in the pamphlet.
Put it on your phone too.
Oh.
Everybody can see.
Can we go?
Please?
Okay, don't worry, I'll go.
Okay, you're gonna have to need them.
So everybody, you guys should have a pamphlet, right? One of those foldouts. That's has the lyrics in there. Alright, so we're gonna sing Kaulana Napua. You need the lyrics? They're right there in that pamphlet. Uncle Earl's gonna give us some melody. And let's see if we can pull this off. Kaulana Napua, written by Ellen Kaho'ohiwa Kalani Wright Pendergrass.